Welcome to the 5th tutorial. In this video, we are going to create a floral letter. We will use the floral elements we created in the previous tutorial, the text tool, and a few layer masks. I'll leave the link of the 4th tutorial in the video description, just in case you missed it, as well as the link and a discount code for the watercolor brushes we are using in this challenge. Okay, let's have some fun! As usual, let's group the elements and create a backup. This way, if we make a mess with any of the elements, we will be able to duplicate the layer in question and mess it up again. We can try again. Pick any color you want. I'll choose black. Go to Actions, Add, and then tap on Add Text with your finger. If you tap with your Apple Pencil, you will have to write the letter with your pencil, and then tap on the button that will appear in the bottom left corner to open the text options, okay? As you see here, we have many fonts and many options to customize our text. I am using the bold version of the one that comes by default, but you can use any font you like. We want it to be big, so let's increase its size. It is not big enough, but don't worry, we can make it even bigger using the transform tool. Text don't lose quality. Place your letter or letters in the center and decrease the opacity of the layer. No matter what we write, all the text layer will have an A as a thumbnail, unless we rasterize it. Well, let's rearrange the floral elements. Turn off the visibility of all the layers but one, and use the transform tool to adjust the position and size of each of the elements. As I am going to repeat the same steps until everything is placed on top of the letter, I'll do this in fast mode. We have all the leaves painted in the same layer. Let's use the freehand option of the transform tool and then cut and paste to place each of the elements on different layers. This way, we will be able to move them more freely. I changed the blend mode to linear burn, not only to enhance the paper texture on the leaves, but also to see better where they overlap with other elements. Once you finish, rename the layers. Group them and create a backup group. Actually, we don't need to have the leaves in another group. You already know how to group layers, but do you know how to ungroup them? This is as easy as select the layers and move them out. The group is now empty, see? Let's delete it and move the backup out of this group too. Now that we have learned how to group, ungroup, and that we can have groups inside other groups, let's continue rearranging our elements. A little tip: don't increase the size of your elements too much or they will look pixelated. Also, if you decrease the size of an element, do not increase it again. When we decrease the size of our illustrations, let's say we lose painted pixels. And when we increase it again, Procreate knows neither what pixels were colored before nor the colors of those pixels. So it makes a wild guess. I'm sure you already noticed how good is Procreate guessing, right? Well, it is not its fault. It's a raster program. It's in its nature. Until now, we have been using the small blue handles of the bounding box to change the size of our elements. If we tap on Wrap, a mess will appear, and we will be able to distort our illustrations by dragging the corners or any other part. Tap on any of the other options to be able to move around the element again. The leaf overlaps here and here. We can use the eraser, but since we are not sure yet if that will be its final position, we'll use a layer mask instead. When we use the eraser tool in a layer mask, what we do is hide that part of the illustration. We make non-permanent changes, which means that we only need to delete the layer mask to see the whole element again. Let's do the same here. If you hide too much and you want to make it visible again, you just need to pick white and use the paint tool to reveal the parts you hid. Okay? Not sure where to place this one. I think I will use the Wrap tool again. I have a backup layer, so I'm not afraid of making a mess. I suppose that you already noticed this, but you can rotate the elements by dragging them from the green handle. You can also use the rotation gesture inside the bounding box, or the rotate button at the bottom. Let's attach a layer mask to this and erase. I think this looks good, so I will create a backup and flatten the group. In the previous videos, we used a different tool to get everything on a single layer without using the merge option. Do you remember how we did it? If so, leave a comment. I would love to know if this challenge is helping you. Create a new layer below. We are going to paint a watercolor background. Pick the glazed oval tilt grading brush, green, and paint a very light wash. Change the color to red and paint very loose and light watercolor poppies here and there. Change the color to dark blue and paint the bottom of the petals. And finally, pick green again and paint a few stems and leaves. Our beautiful puppies are now in a field of puppies! Set the blend mode to linear burn to enhance the paper texture and duplicate the layer if you want a more intense background, okay? Now we will learn 3 ways of creating a floral letter. In the first one, we will only keep the illustration within the shape. Tap with 2 fingers on the text layer to select the layer content. Then tap on the flower layer and create a layer mask. Since we had the letter selected when we created the layer mask, only the shape of the letter is visible. The rest is hidden. If you want to know more about layer masks, take a look at my tutorial, Different Ways of Masking in Procreate Layer Masks. Do the same with the background we just painted. We no longer need the text layer, so let's delete it or turn off its visibility. What do you think will happen if we invert the layer masks? Ta-da! We just need to erase this part and perhaps move the flower to see them better. If you want to move the illustration but not the shape, just deselect the layer masks and use the Transform tool. As you see, the shape remains still while we are transforming the rest. This is my favorite option. We will make some parts to stick out of the letter. How? Well, as I told you before, we will unhide them using the Paint tool and white. Make sure the layer mask is the one highlighted in darker blue. Then choose Pure White, double tapping on the white. Choose the bloomer brush and start unhiding flowers. Let's increase the brush size or this will take us ages. Much better. Since the bloomer brush is pressure sensitive, apply less pressure on the parts you want to look more transparent, okay? To finish this off, let's create a new layer and add some splatters. This is done! Hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. I can't wait to see your floral letter. Don't forget to tag me at Lettie Blue Illustrator if you post it on Instagram. See you in the next tutorial. Bye!